Alright, so yesterday the NBA announced their all-star starters. It was to no surprise there were some controversial moments because everyone wants to complain about something. Steph over SGA and, because he played less games. But I mean, fan voting has to matter here, right? And if you want to make the argument SGA should start over Steph, sure. But at the end of the day, we all know he's going to be a reserve. And that he didn't start does not matter to really anyone in a year, but Zion, of course, starting, you could make an argument he doesn't have enough games played and it doesn't make sense, which I kind of agree with, but he was announced as the starter. And then you have the East side where Joel Embiid, of course, does not make the starting lineup, which is an intriguing one, but he's going to be a reserve, of course. And I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's an overblown issue because we all know they're going to be all-stars, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But I want to give my, all-star reserve, since I've watched a lot of basketball this season. I maybe watched too much basketball this season, but at the end of the day, I want to try to make this, something special. And I think I have good enough opinions to let you know my all-star reserves and how I would like to see the West and the East fill out. Let's start with the Western Conference. As my Western Conference reserve, number 1, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We already talked about him, and he's 100% deserves to be an all-star. The Thunder are having a pretty solid season for them. When he plays, they are 20 and 24. 31 points a game almost 5 rebounds, 5.5 assists on 51% shooting. His mid-range is one of the best in the game. Him getting to his spots is one of the best in the game. He's shooting 36% from the 3-point line and over 90% from the free throw line. He 100% deserves to be there. He's gonna be there. Our second guy, Ja Morant, 40 games played. He's averaging just a little over 27 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 8 assists a night, 46.5% from the field, 32% from the 3-point line, about the same from the free throw line. Doesn't matter really, right? They're one of the best teams. He's their best player. He deserves to be in the All-Star game, as he's gonna be for the next few years unless he's injured. Next, Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen 100% deserves to be in the All-Star game this season. He's averaging close to 25 points per night. He's averaging close to 9 rebounds a night, 2 assists on 52% shooting from the field and 43% from the 3-point line, 87% from the free throw line. Of course, the Jazz have fallen off a little bit lately, but he's still been balling out and he's been trying to put them on his back, and he deserves to make the All-Star game. And I mean, it's in Utah. It would be a travesty if there was no Utah player, especially when there's one that's clearly deserving, right? And Lauri Markkanen clearly deserves to go there. I don't even need an argument there. I think he deserves to go there. As for our next player, it's De'Aaron Fox, and he's been spectacular this season. The Kings are the number 3 seed. He's averaging close to 24 points per night, 6 assists a night, 51% from the field. He's shooting 33% from the 3-point line and close to 80% from the free throw line, and he's been spectacular. They're the 3 seed. He's one of the best clutch players in the league also, and I think all of that adds up to him being in the All-Star game, especially with the games played, the expectation for the Kings, and he deserves to be here, in my honest opinion. Next, Domantas Sabonis. The second reason for the Kings to, why are they this good and why are they the 3 seed, of course, the games there. So the separation between number 3 seed and the number 8 seed isn't as large as, well, usually it is. But when I look at it, he's the engine of that team. He's averaging 18.5 points. He's top of the league in rebounds with 12.4 rebounds per game and close to 7.5 assists per night, shooting 61% from the field and 37% from the 3-point line. He's been spectacular. The stats are spectacular. Their record is spectacular. And I know 2 All-Stars for the number 3 seeds and no 2 All-Stars for the number 1 seed and no 2 All-Stars for the number 2 seed, but we can dive into it just in a little bit. Next, I have Damian Lillard. I was debating if I should put Dame here or Devin Booker, because without Devin Booker, the Suns have really struggled, but there have been so many injuries on the Suns that it also is... that, of course, also take part of it, but most of it is that Devin Booker is missing. But I decided to give the nod to Dame, as he's been balling lately, and he's averaging 30 points per night, 7.5 assists, 4 rebounds on 46% from the field, over 37% from the 3-point line and 90% from the free throw line. I think he deserves it over, Book and some of the higher seed guys, because at the end of the day, all of it should matter, right? But I think Dame is just simply that better than Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, or Jaren Jackson Jr. or a Desmond Bain. Jaren Jackson Jr. I will get into a little bit later because I have him as my honorable mention, of course. And the last one is the most, I think, I don't know if it's the most controversial one, but it's the one that's you could certainly argue the most, besides probably Sabonis and Fox, those three are the most arguable, I would say, is Anthony Edwards. I would give the nod to Anthony Edwards because Minnesota has been a mess. They've dealt with a lot of injuries, and they are at this point in time 500. And he's stepped up massively. He's averaging 24.5 points per night, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, all career highs, while also averaging career high in steals. And he's shooting 46% from the field, 37% from the three-point line, and he's been simply spectacular. And I understand if you want to put Aaron Gordon here because they're the number 1 seed and he's been their most consistent second player and he's been spectacular in his role. Don't get me wrong, he's playing just like Andrew Wiggins did last year and he started, but there were a lot more injuries last year than this year. And I would argue Anthony Edwards deserves to be here for keeping this Minnesota team somewhat afloat, man, because it's been a real mess and he deserves more credit than is being given to him. And let's get into my honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Aaron Gordon, of course, Devin Booker, Draymond Green, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Jeremy Grant, and Anthony Davis. So Aaron Gordon we talked about. You could put him there instead of Fox, Sabonis, or Edwards, and I would not kinda disagree with you. Even Dame, I wouldn't disagree with you if you think he deserves to be an all-star based on his performance and his contribution to the number 1 seed. I wouldn't disagree with you. Just in my honest opinion, I would not give it to him. Devin Booker, I would put him there instead of one of these people. If he was healthy, he would be there instead of Fox for sure for me. And yeah, maybe instead of Dame, you could put him there because Dame's missed also some time. And he deserves to be an all-star for what he does for this Phoenix Suns team. So I wouldn't be mad at you. I contemplated putting him there instead of Dame, instead of De'Aaron Fox. But at the end of the day, I decided on these guys and decided to have Book miss it just because of the injury. Draymond Green is here just an honorable mention because he's still an unbelievable defender. And if we were a higher seed, I would push for him to be an all-star. But he does not deserve it this year. I just want to put him as an honorable mention here. The same goes for Kawhi and Paul George. Both have not played enough and don't deserve to be all-star this year. Even though Kawhi, if he played just like he's been playing over these last 15 games throughout the season, he would 100% be an all-star player, but he simply has not played enough. The same goes for Paul George. Jeremy Grant would be here if the Blazers kept up their pace. He deserves some credit because he's been spectacular for them, but he's not, he's just honorable mention, not actually someone I would consider, unlike Aaron Gordon, Devin Booker, and Anthony Davis also. Anthony Davis, Aaron Gordon, and Devin Booker, I wouldn't be mad at you if you had them instead of Anthony Edwards, Dame, Sabonis, Fox. I would be mad at you if you had them instead of Laurie, Ja, and SGA, because those are my locks for sure. Sabonis is my lock probably also. And then those 3 guys I could see arguments and I'm not certain locks on, but at the end of the day it's all subjective and this is just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts about Western Conference reserves. These are the Western Conference reserves of mine. Some honorable mentions also. Let me know some other honorable mentions that I missed. Maybe I missed somebody, I don't know. And I'll hit you all tomorrow with an Eastern Conference reserve team so we can wrap this all-star team speculation, all-star team prediction up. And I'll catch you all tomorrow with another video.